20 years, World Series Sprint Cars has represented the pinnacle in Australian sprint car racing, and with the popularity of the series growing every year, there's no reason why 06-07 can't be the best of them all. A truly nationwide event every year, the demanding Sprint Car Championship will crisscross the country over 15 rounds, pushing the stamina of drivers and crew to the absolute limits. Brooke Tatnell takes to the track as the reigning champ for the 5th time, and is once again a marked man for a whole host of championship hopefuls. Perennial contender and 6-time winner Max Tumsey will be joined in the quest to dethrone Tatnell by one of the most talented sprint car fields ever assembled, featuring Jason Johnson, Robbie Farr, Gary Brazier, David Murcott, Danny Reed, and special appearances from USA stars Donnie Schatz and Darren Pittman. For all these men, the march to the silverware begins now. With so many laps to race and so many kilometres left to travel, nothing but consistent brilliance will be required to take home the 2006-2007 Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship. Hello folks and welcome to Speed Machine. It's round 1 of the 20th anniversary Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship, and we're here at Kalgoorlie International Speedway, and a man who's come halfway around the country to come home is Alan Haynes. This used to be home for you.
Yeah, that's right, Wade. Still home at heart, but Kalgoorlie's going to fire up tonight with some good racing, so it's good to be here, isn't it?
Back on the road, why?
Well, only getting older every year, so we do as much as we can now and live the easy stuff later on, do the hard stuff now and get this out of the way. I think it's in your blood, so you got to keep doing it, don't you?
Well, good luck tonight. Your plan?
Stay straight.
That sounds like an achievable goal. Let's hope he's able to achieve it. Let's go and catch the action here at Kalgoorlie. It had been almost 5 years since the World Series Sprint Cars tournament had made a stop at the flourishing Goldfields community of Kalgoorlie, and the town rolled out the red carpet to make sure all the teams were well looked after. With great support from the Kalgoorlie Police and the Council, the teams rolled down historic Hannon Street in style to a mayor reception and a chance to meet some of the local school kids. The Kalgoorlie Speedway Club did a great job too, and by the time the first heat rolled out, it was standing room only around the bright red clayway. Sporting the colours of his new ABC Auto Gear team, veteran Robbie Farr opened qualifying for round 1 and posted an impressive 12.385 second lap. Darren Pittman was the highlight of the first group though, setting the bar high with a 12.262 in J Pistons qualifying. Pittman's time was untouched until American Jason Johnson took the top by only 1/1000th of a second. Reigning champ Brooke Tatnell came close, sitting just behind Pittman with a 12.329. Donnie Schatz then came in and blew the field away, posting the only sub-12-second lap of the field. The Landis Pickett Payless number 2 on pole with an 11.998 ahead of Johnson, Pittman, Tatnell and West Aussie Ryan Farrell rounding out the top 5. The heats were an all West Aussie affair. After a disappointing qualifying session, West Aussies David Priolo, Scott Milling and Jamie Moon all posted double deals to take maximum points. Scott Milling opened proceedings to take out the first heat, while a collision with Brooke Tatnell brought a premature end to David Muir's race. Priolo kicked off his campaign with a win in Heat 3. Robbie Farr and Darren Pittman locked horns in a great battle, which was brought to an unfortunate end when Pittman ran up the back of Scott Riley. Front end damage to Les Sawyer's car forced him to withdraw from Heat 4, taking Brooke Tatnell out of the process. Jamie Moon withheld his pole position to take his second win. Alan Haynes went into an unaided spin on the first lap of the final heat, and Riley followed suit shortly after. Jason Johnson's disappointing heat session was brought to a premature ending. He was unable to finish the race. Luch Monty was holding down a strong position in the B-Main, hoping to make the transfer to the big race, until he pushed the number 17 too high, coming onto the main straightaway. okay, but his once immaculate number 17 J&J was left in tatters. That wraps us up from round one. When we come back after the break, we head from Kalgoorlie to Kwinana. So a four-wide formation in front of a full house at Kalgoorlie International Speedway. Round one of the Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship. And Ryan Farrell, he was the dark horse last time we raced at this circuit. Oh, just see Darren Pittman hit the wall just then. Matthew Reid working the low side. Jason Johnson in there with him. Robbie Farr hit the lead on the second lap, though, and Danny Reedy was really the meat in the sandwich. And the number 5, Danny Orr earth-moving car. Now got squeezed between Priolo and Wanless. Wanless had done a good job transferring from the B main on a slick racetrack. While Brock Mays was starting to go a good move in the Kendrick Racing 92.9 car, while Brooke Tatnell assumed the race lead from Robbie Farr. Not without the Sydney sider desperately trying to cling to it at first, however. Tatnell moving the Cricky Motorsports cool chassis into the race lead with a nice clean pass to the low side. Donny Schatz, unbelievably, after leading early, went into a spin all on his own in the Pickett Payless car. This dropped him from first to third. Mitchell Dumsey stalled the car, and that forced a restart. Tatnell leading away from Robbie Farr. Donny Schatz right there in third position. Farr did his best to hold out a hard-charging Donny Schatz, but he wasn't quite able to do it. The number 1 driver in the world surging forward right into the tail tank of Brooke Tatnell. Todd Wanless had a big moment in the 61 car, upending it in turn 3 and ending his race. Again, it was all Tatnell from the restart, with Farr moving back into second. Dumsey moved up into third when Donny Schatz went wide and nearly banged the wall. There was a big wreck in turn 1 and 2 involving Haynes, Danny Reedy and Brock Mays, all uninjured, unfortunately not all restarting. Back at the green, lap started to wear down. Robbie Farr slipped back on the inside of Max Dumsey, who promptly took care of him, and Donny Schatz did the same. This, of course, allowing Brooke Tatnell to get some ground up his sleeve, and he went on to take the win in the Toyota Genuine Parts number 1. Tatnell the victor from Dumsey, Schatz, Farr, Frazier, Farrell, Murcott and Johnson in a thrilling series opener at Kalgoorlie.
I knew if we could get by Farry early enough, we'd have a decent shot. But Donny got a runaway, and I wasn't sure how we were going to pull him down. But we were in the car here, it's exactly the same as how we won the Masters last year in Adelaide. Once we got to the lead, it was a matter about dictating it. And we ran the car hard, but kept it on the bottom. I wasn't too concerned about Farry getting on the outside of me, because get Farry on the outside, you can dictate to him and gas it up a little bit harder. On the red, I just said to the guys, I said, "What's it look like?" They said, "Well, they're making a run on the outside." And biggest thing is when you're running on the bottom like that, you can control the racetrack, and it's a game of chess. We sat on the bottom, and if they were going to get around the outside of me, I was just going to plant the foot a little bit harder.
If there's a better sprint car venue in the world, I'd certainly like to see it, folks. Welcome to Speed Machine. We are here at the Perth Motorplex, Kwinana Beach, for round 2 of the Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship. A 2-night affair. Already they're rocking. Last night was a preliminary main event. Let's take a look at highlights of it right now. With night 1 out of the way, the drivers turn their attention back to championship business and the awesome facility that is the Perth Motorplex. Gary Frazier returns to the championship in 06-07 after taking out the title in 93-94, and he has high hopes of returning to winning ways.
Yeah, it's great to be back being amongst all these guys racing every week, and I'm just looking forward to the rest of the year.
Fabulous car, great crew chief, good resources.
Yeah, you know, we've got pretty much everything here. You know, it's up to me to produce the finishes, and you know, we've started off with the 5th and the 7th, so it's not too bad so far, but looking forward to go forward from there. Oh, you know, I come here when it first opened and drove for Jeff Kendrick, and you know, on that night we actually broke the track record. It was 13 something, and you know, now they're into the 12, so but it's a great complex. I can't wait to get one in Sydney.
Brazier is not the only ace in this talented deck, and after a long off-season, round 2 here in Perth represents the chance for the bulk of the field to kickstart their campaigns.
Yeah, mate, we've put a lot of time in through the off-season, and you know, obviously the team's spent a lot of money to get it to a level where they're happy with it, and you know, it's still early in the season, and I think we've got off to a good start, and hopefully we can just you know, improve as the year goes on.
What is it about this circuit, Robbie?
Oh, just the whole facility. I think. I mean, it's a track that's actually basically purpose-built for sprint cars, and we don't see a lot of that in the country. So, you know, with a new venue, it's or a reasonably new venue, it's built for modern-day sprint cars in mind, and I think it shows on the track that what these things can do on a proper racetrack.
First time I ever got to come out to Australia, I drove for the Monty Motorsports, and you know, we come out here for a little speed week and run 2 races here and 2 races at Bunbury, and really enjoy coming here. Yeah, I mean, the clay is real nice. You know, you got the black dirt versus the red clay, so yeah, it generally turns out to be a little bit better racing because it's, you know, it goes from sticky to dry slick a little bit more like what we're used to back at home, and definitely the track size is more to what we're used to back at home, being a little bit bigger track than most of your common tracks in Australia.
Fast. It was very fast last night. Just hammer down, foot as far down as you can get it for 20 laps, and let's hope it's a bit racier tonight.
This place, I expected it to be a little hard on our engines, and yeah, they performed quite well. Very impressed.
The JEI chassis, how does it compare to the others that you've run?
Not a real lot different. It's I suppose every car has a little idiosyncrasies. They're just a little bit different in each way. Even some of the same makes are a little bit different. But I'm very impressed with the JEI chassis. They seem to perform pretty well, and they like the big track, and the manufacture, the quality of them is excellent. You know, finished off the bodywork on them, everything. It's yeah, they're a pretty nice piece.
What a fantastic piece of promotion for the sport, eh? This is the side of the Dan Morton sprint car semi-trailer, and basically as they travel the highway, fans can keep up to date with all the different schedules, all the dates and all the venues. What an excellent effort. We spoke with Dan earlier about this great idea.
Yeah, it's all part of just promoting the sport, Wade. You know, we've just spent a lot of time exercising trying to get corporate sponsorship into the sport, and we face the reality that we've got to get more recognition out there in the normal society, and that's a good way to do it. Your operation looks tremendous. Yeah, look, as I say, we're trying to get the corporate sponsorship into this sport. I really believe in Speedway, and I love sprint car racing, and it's getting to the point now, if we don't bring the corporate sponsorship in, then there will be no more sport. How long is it taking you to get this operation together with World Series in mind? We've always had World Series in mind for a couple of years, but the last 4 weeks have been pretty hectic for our crew. We had a bit of trouble there getting a full-time crew chief and professional person to take on the sport and the responsibility of it, but we've got it all together now, and in the last few weeks it's been pretty hectic. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, let's see how Dan Morton fares along with the rest of the Proton World Series Sprint Car stars. Well, it's a very exciting weekend here at the Perth Motorplex, but it's also a sad weekend for some people, and that's because this sticker right here represents the passing of one of the greatest Australian Speedway competitors that's ever been produced in this state, certainly, and the country. Michael Figlamini passed away just 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you emotions are still very raw here in the pits. He will always be remembered as the Magic Man, and all drivers here this weekend carrying this tribute for him. With such a long and demanding campaign ahead of them, the role of the crew chief cannot be overstated enough. Such finely tuned machines being pushed to the brink night after night places a massive emphasis having a crew chief who knows these cars inside out. Legendary car owner and Australian sponsor Reeve Cruck has devoted his career to sprint car teams both here and abroad, and this year is introducing an initiative to spur on the next generation of crew chiefs to greater heights.
Mate, Gleno and I put it together about a year ago, trying to work out how to get the cars to go around better, how to get better maintenance on the cars, and then it became more obvious with when we started building engines for other people. the maintenance programs on the engines. I mean, these are expensive motors. We were getting things like blocked nozzles, blocked filters, causing burnt pistons and stuff like that. So that's all part of being a crew chief, knowing how to service your engine, make sure it's up exactly right and all that. So that's part of what we put together. But the incentive is to learn the finesse, the intricacies of, you know, like I walk around the pits and look at things and think, you know, it's not hard to do it properly than it is to do it slack, you know. Well, I think it'll make better racing. It'll be faster racing. There won't be... You watch an outlaw race, they can run around 30 laps around Knoxville, wide open at about 130 mile an hour, that's mile an hour, and finish the race without tearing up a wheel, you know. Like Darren Jensen came over this year with us, and he was with us for a month. We ran 26 shows in a month, and he said to me, the first thing he said to me when I got over there, he said, Darren hasn't put a scratch in the car in 26 races. Well, you can't say that in Australia. You're lucky to do 26 minutes without tearing the car up, you know.
Well, a brand new car for Luch Monty already. It was a spectacular crash. He was charging hard at Kalgoorlie in the opening round. As a result, he's a brand spanking new number 17 J&J. Heat race action right now at the Perth Motorplex, Kwinana Beach, and Drew Cruck joins me in commentary. Drew, what a place.
What a place. Look at the shine off that track, Wade. A big Kwinana track. Always fun to be at, fun to race at.
John Littlelow and Rob Adley on the front row. Dan Morton and Matty Reid in there as well. Murky, Donny Schatz, they're further back in the order. They qualified very well as we get set to go green. Plenty of room on this speedway, Drew.
Yeah, look at the boys getting 3 wide, just even at the start, without any real problems. Brooke Tatner right round the top.
Whoa! Nearly contact with Littlelow. Monty in trouble. He comes spinning towards that camp position. Wow, Paul Timmis backing out of the way. Look at the room we've got on the racetrack here.
Oh, it's a dream to race here. You can put the car anywhere you want and not get into too much trouble. Yellow lights.
Yeah, replay right now. Tatnall, well, Littlelow went to move up. Didn't realise the Aussie champ was already there. Monty, what a good piece of driving to almost avoid contact. Picked up some speed.
That's right, and look at the camera bloke run, the official run backwards. Restarts.
Yeah, can't afford to take too many chances, Drew. We get set to go racing, and Matthew Reid, Mr. Speed on the outside. Look at Tatnall again, Drew.
That's right, almost a carbon copy of what happened in that first start. Takes him straight to the top. He's done this a million times in America. Right around, too easy for Tatnall.
Into the race lead goes Brooke Tatnall. Back in second spot, it's the West Side Honda, number 92 of Matthew Reid. Dan Morton, he wouldn't be used to a track this size.
No, back in Archerfield and the North Queensland, that's where Dan's from. You don't do this at all. Look at the way they turn, just like a NASCAR. They don't get too sideways.
Luch Monty from Western Australia, it's his home circuit. Now here comes Donny Schatz in the Gary Rush-owned Pick and Payless, number 2 J&J. Scott Riley back there with West Aussie Luch Monty. A couple of sandgropers going hard. Matthew Reid sideways down the straightaway.
Matthew Reid he's good at time trials. He hasn't been over this track too much. But Brooke Tatnall, he'd be worried about Donny Schatz. Where's Donny right now?
Right through the inside goes Murcott on Dan Morton. We got trouble. Adley turns the number 9 around the E-Bank car. And that'll bring us back to a restart. Morton going by in the Morvale Group car, and unfortunately, well, Rob Adley, the youngster, turns it around.
Turns it around at sometimes 200 kilometres an hour sideways. So be hoping those tyres slip from under him.
There is Donny Schatz, the world's best sprint car driver. World of Outlaws champ, Knoxville Nationals champ, and there is the best Australia has, Brooke Tatnall. So it's a heads-up battle. Look for some slide jobs on this racetrack. Plenty of room for it. What can Schatz do here, Drew?
Donny goes to the bottom. He's quite renowned nowadays, just getting some really good drive off the bottom. There's Dan Morton trying to get the pass on David Murcott.
Wow, good pass by Morton. Not a lot of experience around this circuit. Here we go. Tatnall up against Schatz. Schatz back to the bottom again. The slide job. Can't get it done there.
Can't get it done. He's putting that... You notice there's a little sort of wet groove mark in the bottom. Brooke to the bottom again. Trying to defend that line.
Schatz keeping the car very straight. He switches to the outside this time. To the cushion. Now he drops back across the bottom.
Wow, he took a really high line to turn in and cross right to the bottom. Try and get the most speed off the bottom. Maybe the top hasn't got a lot of drive.
Look at Brooke Tatnall back on the bottom side. So there's a moisture down there. Schatz is going to slide him back.
Oh, 2 kids with yo-yos, Wade. Look at him go. they'd be just dancing, having a good time. There's so much width to this track that they're not in any real danger of hitting in wheels.
Plenty of respect between the two as well as Tatnall takes the lead back. How good is this, Drew Crook?
Oh, Tatnall, just put your hand out, hang on to the back. It looks too easy, doesn't it, Wade?
This is great stuff. Two of the best in the world of their respective hemispheres locked at it right now in Mortal Kombat.
And up the back there, you see Matthew Reid and Murcott fighting for the same sort of thing.
Here comes Tatnall back on another slide job on Shots.
Oh.
And Shots back at him again.
Tatnall getting a little too high into that heavy stuff. Last lap.
Well, Hall is oblivious to what's going on behind him, mate. That beside him, a Shots just ahead. Here comes Brooke with 1 corner to go, Drew.
Brooke just got balked by that slower car there, and there it is, Shots with the win.
What a race. One of the best heat races we've seen in a long time. Donny Shots gets the win over Brooke Tatnall, and the place has erupted. What a battle. It is perhaps a preview to what's to come in tonight's A-Main. The Perth Motorplex. What a place. Massive crowd in the house, pretty well standing room only at the Perth Motorplex, Kwinana Beach. They're on their feet for this 4-wide in a missing man formation as a mark of respect to the late, great Michael Figlamini. There is the vacant space. Donny Shots pulled back and allowed that spot to remain vacant. Drew Crook, an awesome crowd, an awesome facility. A lot of Americans up the front, including Darren Pittman in your car.
Yeah, Darren Pittman filling in for the Titan team pirate car, Wade. Good to see him over. He's only having a little holiday, which got interrupted, and we're away.
Minus, of course, the white walls. Drew Crook's number 2 car, driven by Darren Pittman, the pirate machine. Robbie Farr into 3rd. Brooke Tatnall making his run very early, pulling up alongside the MHF entry of Robbie Farr, and gets Pittman as well.
Oh, sure does. But Pittman's got the run on the top, gets a little too high in the dusty stuff. Robbie Farr underneath Brooke Tatnall.
Look at the lighting of this place. Farr back on the inside. It's almost like daylight. There is the rock star. Danny Reedy through on the inside of Monty. And now Robbie Farr coming at Pittman. Looks like the bottom's working well.
Geez, I bet there's a bit of mind games going in there, Wade. Both ex-Titan drivers and current Titan drivers, so they want to win this race.
Robbie Farr battling hard, but Donny Shots beginning his move through the centre now. Brock Mays, the American in the Kendrick Racing 92.9 car, but here comes Donny Shots, the number 1 driver in the world.
Number 1 driver, does a lot of good things too. He's running a narrower tyre, left rear tyre, which is quite can get the car to run much straighter right through the middle.
And that's what he's doing too. Look at him working on Jason Johnson, the Superlock, Armour All, number 5. Mitchell Dubsnick having a very good run as well, just up ahead in the 77 Eagle 1 car.
Well, yeah, Mitchell becomes to terms. Oh, look at that, nice pass in between the 3 cars.
Yeah, Donny Shots has this race car absolutely stuck to the racetrack. John Barrett, the crew chief for Gary Rush. Here's a replay of the pass.
Now have a look at Donny. He comes from the top so he can cross down to the bottom of the track. He'd just be thinking about Jason Johnson right now, and he'd say, oh, hello, here's Mitchell Dubsnick. We'll just sneak up the inside there. Just gets a good drive off that wetter-looking plate.
Good job for Donny. He's moving forward, that's for sure. We expected that. Mitchell Dubsnick doing well. Here comes Brooke Tatnall, the number 1 Ricky Motorsports car. Through on the inside of Johnson and Dubsnick, just as Shots have done.
That's right. Does a little slide job, slides up the top. Oh, 3 wide. Look at that.
And that's to lap Max Dubsnick. Unbelievable scenes here at Kwinana. Who would have thought that would have happened? Shots and Tatnall going at it again like they did in the heat race.
Yeah, I'm still scratching my head with Max there. He seems to be going back real fast, whether he's got some sort of tyre problem. You never know. But look at Shots right up top there.
Brooke on the very bottom, extreme opposites. Here's a look again at what they did to the Dubsnick car. They swept either side of him. That's how quickly it can happen. Salt in the wound for Max. Look at the bite that Tatnall's getting. Whoa!
Oh, right on there.
Bit of bite there.
Wave to the photographer, Brooke.
Comes the inside run. Tatnall working on the top side is Donny Shots, though. Look at Donny. How good this battle. There is Mayolo. Donny busy with the local traffic.
That's right. Look at Donny's arms while he's up there. You see down the bottom, Brooke there, he has to turn your wheels a whole lot more when you're on the bottom, but up the top, you've got to keep the car a lot smoother and straighter.
Tatnall knew he was going to be in trouble if he didn't back off a little bit there. He allowed Shots to get back on the outside of him. Checkered flag comes out. Well done, Brooke Tatnall. And a Kawiki lap to celebrate here in front of the Perth crowd. The Quickie Motorsports team are West Aussies. Look at the reception they're getting here. Massive crowd in the house. They're pumped. There's your results. Tatnall over Shots. Johnson and Pittman, Murcott, Reedy, Farr, and Gary Brazier rounding out the top 8 at the Motorplex.
It was fun, but we had a pretty good car all night. We changed motors after last night. We felt that we had a problem where we weren't fast enough, we weren't making any speed, and yeah, this thing here, it's not as much horsepower as the other one, but this is what we won the titles in and won a lot of races last year. But yeah, when we were running starting 6, we had to move around and try a few different things, and yeah, that's what ultimately won us the race, by being able to take chances and move around.
Well, Brooke kind of drove away from us there at the end. Hey, I tried everything I could. It don't matter what you done last week or the week before, it's done. This weekend we just kind of struggled to get where we were. I think it's just, I have a hard time adapting these 372 engines. They're, you know, I get my car working a little better with a little more torque and power, and tried the best. Brooke was a little better in the feature, and I was able to have a good race in the heat race, and that was awful fun because there's not very many places you get to have a race like that where you go back and forth, not just once, twice, but 4, 5, 6 times. So that was kind of the highlight of the weekend. It was fun. It was fun to actually win and come out on the top of that battle. He got the best of us. They had a better car at the end of the race, and they deserved to win it. They were good.
You know, we got going real good there on the start, and I probably said a little bit too quick of a pace, and you know, the track was real good and the car was real good, so I thought I was all right, but I probably burned the tires off of it. It was kind of wearing on tires all night, and I think I just used up my tires too early.
So Tatnall, too tough to tame at Kwinana. He has a good lead over Johnson, Dumsney, Farr, Murcott, Brazier, Pittman and Danny Reedy rounding out the top 8.
In its round 3 of the Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship. Everyone's getting all their merchandise organised here for World Series Sprint Cars in its 20th anniversary season. We come out of Western Australia without Brooke Tatnall, the man who was the championship leader coming out of the West. Now it's wide open with Max Dumsney, Jason Johnson, Gary Brazier, a number of great stars. The man, of course, everyone expects to be really tough here is American Jason Johnson. We spoke with him earlier.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you know, Disbury Family Racing is based out of Adelaide, and every time we come to here, we're always psyched up to get a good run for sponsors as possible. And you know, we did go real good to the Masters here a couple weeks ago, and looking forward to a good night tonight.
Was Western Australia what you'd hoped?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, Kalgoorlie wasn't much racy, but I'll tell you what, the Perth Motorplex, it was really fun for a driver. And you know, the first night it was circumstances of rain, and you know, we made do and just come up one spot short. And then the second night we had a really good racetrack to race on, and that's what it's all about. And we just come up a little bit short and fell back to third, but we definitely had a lot of fun.
One of the new faces in the paddock this season is young star Mitchell Dumsney. Son of sprint car hero Max, young Mitchell made his debut in round 1 at Kalgoorlie, and after 2 rounds, Dumsney Jr. may well have what it takes to emulate or maybe one day surpass his revered old man.
It was great. It was a good experience. Like, it was different tracks, and Kwinana was just awesome fun on the final night. Just the amount of different racing you could get, people down the bottom, in the middle, up the top, and you could just run anywhere, really. Yeah.
Was World Series what you thought it would be now that you're out here with us?
Well, I didn't really have much of a thought of what it would be because I've been here a fair bit just following Dad around, but yeah, it's good to be here and good fun.
With such a wealth of knowledge at his disposal, Mitch could not be blamed for occasionally picking the brains of his father Max. However, Dumsney is determined not to ride the coattails of his father and forge a reputation based on his own merits.
Like to do my own thing when I can, and just ask Dad for the occasional spanner or loan of a tyre gauge when I need to.
An exciting prospect is Mitchell Dumsney. We'll take a break, and when we come back, Speedway City comes alive. South Australian sprint car legend Bill Barrows is all too well aware of the nostalgia of World Series sprint cars. He has a long association with it, both as an owner and a driver.
Yes, we've had lots of fun. I've attempted several times by myself and with 2 Americans. So, you know, we've had a great run. I think we did a couple of seconds with the Americans, and it was great.
What's the toughest part about it?
I think the travelling, the competition's obviously tough, but the travelling and just being on the road all the time, it's pretty hard work.
Now, you've got a protege here this year into your second full year with him.
Yes, Glenn's dad used to assist me with my race car, and I'm now trying to help Glenn with his racing, and he's having a bit of fun. He's got a bit to learn, but we're having fun.
Now, he's modified the car for you. You're that tall. How tall are you?
6'4".
Okay.
Yeah.
He's built the car a bit longer for you?
Yeah, about 3 inches longer, so it helps out with my legs and not so cramped up in the car.
Not bad having an old bloke like that to help out.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, really great. All his experience and knowledge helps me out, and with me driving as well, let alone the setups and that, so yeah, it's great.
A magnificent afternoon was the backdrop for the time trials at Speedway City, and Queenslander Drew Cruck got the ball rolling with a strong 12.269. Fellow Queenslander Robbie Farr was pushing hard, but couldn't match the pace of Cruck. Farr only 1/10 adrift. Then came Matthew Reid, the Victorian, exploding in the time trials with an awesome 12.266, 3/1000th of a second in front of Cruck. Local boy Luke Dillon moved into fourth, but was upstaged by another South Aussie in Stephen Lyons, who surged into third place with a 12.309. The last throw of the dice was left to Sprintcar legend Max Dumsney, the 6-time World Series champ, unable to take the fastest time, settling for 4th position, leaving Matthew Reid as the time trial winner for round 3. Returning to the Proton World Series Sprint Cars Championship on a sporadic basis this season is South Australian native Craig van der Stelt. Whilst his attention for now was firmly on the clay and ovals of sprint car racing, van der Stelt spent the bulk of 2006 getting it sideways in Australia's premier drifting championship, the Toyo Drift Australia Series.
Drifting is more of a balance between brake, throttle, handbrake, just keeping the car on a balancing act, trying to get it around where you want it to go. And the sprint cars just blow your mind fun.
Have you enjoyed the drift?
Yeah, it's been great. I've absolutely loved it. It's been a massive learning curve, getting everything set up to where we want it to be, and these guys are, like, they've been doing it for a long time. They're pretty bloody good at it too.
Last time that we ran with you, you ran pretty strongly. I guess your confidence must be up there.
Yeah, we've been going okay. Darren Walsh, crew chief, like, he's got the car dialed in pretty good. Our car's pretty nice. We've got rental motoring in Jeffrey's car tonight. It's a pretty strong motor. It's actually Trevor Green's old motor, 372. So, yeah, it's good to be running with these guys. Hopefully we can do it a bit more often.
So the boys cleaning the barrel a bit here at Speedway City as they gas it up before the start of the feature race round 3 of the Proton World Series Sprint Cars. There is your lineup: Jason Johnson, Robbie Farr, Gary Brazier, David Murcott, Matthew Reid, Max Dumsney, Mark Reuter, Drew Cruck. Then you've got Mitchell Dumsney, Ricky Maiolo, Stephen Lyons, Grant Anderson, Dan Morton, Ashley Cook, Todd Wanless, Danny Reedy, David Muir and Justin Sloan. There is your lineup in front of an enormous crowd at Speedway City in South Australia. JBS Quality Industrial Tools bringing you the feature race, and away goes Jason Johnson and Robbie Farr. Farr leads into turn 1 and 2 as we see the distinctive white walls of the number 2 Titan Engines entry of Drew Cruck ahead of Mark Reuter. Ricky Maiolo battling as well. Nice little wheel stand then from Matthew Reid in car number 92. Farry away. Look at the crowd. They're absolutely jammed in here at Speedway City. Stephen Lyons from Mount Gambier using the Dave Challenge horsepower. That engine is an absolute monster, and young Lyons here doing an excellent job with it. Dumsney battling hard as we go on board with Max now. And right behind him is the Titan number 2 of Drew Cruck. Ashley Cook battling hard. Blingy Muir in the Capella Barekas number 18. They made their way down the main straightaway in front of this great crowd at Speedway City. Grant Anderson right in behind Reedy. Ricky Maiolo in behind Steve Lyons. Whoa, look at Cruck. Really starting to give Max Dumsney something to think about. Sloan sideways just then. The cars get through. Murcott battling hard there as well. He's the next one. Matthew Reid, the West Side Honda, number 92 car. Murcott around the top side on Sloan. Cruck coming up behind Dumsney. He's shown very good car speed, the Pirate from Queensland. Look at him through the rock screen, all over the 6-time World Series champion. Farr now, he's got his hands full. The American Jason Johnson in the Superlock Armour All car. See, Farr got a bit of a wheel stand down low then. Gary Brazier in the Ryco Engineering car is, oh, Mitchell Dumsney. The Eagle 1, number 77, has gone into the wall. Restart now, Robbie Farr, your leader. Jason Johnson in second, Gary Brazier back to Matthew Reid. Mark Reuter and Lyons chasing down Cruck and Dumsney. Dumsney looking for the inside line. Can't get it done there. Look at Max. Look at Drew Cruck. All but climbing in the cockpit with him at the moment. Right up behind the Sloan car. No! Drew Cruck inverts the number 2. Rolls over in the Titan Engines car. That was all it took. He came up behind Justin Sloan and crashes out. Ricky Maiolo, nowhere to go either, is also involved. Here is a slow-mo replay from the other angle now. And around goes Drew. He was flying too, showing good speed to be giving Dumsney a hard time. But out he crashes, as it can happen in sprint car racing so often. Anything can and will happen. Away we go with the restarts. Dumsney now clear of the Cruck challenge. Lyons just ahead there as well. Having a pretty good run, the youngster from Mount Gambier. Past the JBS giant video screen they run. Look at Lyons all over Reuter here, doing an excellent job. Dumsney on the inside of Murcott now. Murky having a very good run as we go on board with Max. Listen to this awesome horsepower. Grant Anderson just ahead of Lyons. Ando Jr. having a very good run in that Fuchs Lubricants car. Likewise, this man, Gary Brazier, starting to find some form. Murky in the main line. Dynalog Dynamometers JEI chassis car. Oh, bit of smoke now from Matthew Reed's car. A lot of smoke from Matthew Reed's car. Have a look at this. Hard to see inside the cockpit, the Westside Honda car. Look at what Dumsney's seeing. Incredible pictures here at Speedway City. The speed is still there for Reed, but he's in a bit of trouble now. Still on the gas, the Westside Honda, number 92. Dumsney is through. Reed in all sorts of trouble. Now he pulls the car infield. Murcott, Reuter, Reedy going by. What bad luck for the youngster. A bit of a flash fire as well from the oil. Oh, he was flying tonight. Quick time man for JE Pistons early. And brutally bad luck for the workplace safety wear. Number 92, Robbie Farr. Tough as always here in Adelaide. As we take a look back at the replay, there's the flash fire just off the side of the engine. Mr. Speed, Matthew Reed, in some trouble early. We'll take a quick break and come back just after this. Welcome back to Speedway City. Round 3 of the Proton World Series Sprint Cars. Now, Drew Cruck was in the race. He's now in our commentary box after he crashed out. Bad luck, mate. Good to have you back behind the microphone, at least.
Thanks, Wade. We were having a good race in that thing. We were closing in on that guy there, Max Dumsney. Just couldn't get past that slower car. Good old Sloaney, though. I'll learn the next time.
Well, look at this great onboard shots from Dumsney at the moment. Farry looking strong here, Drew.
Yeah, look, this is a tough little track. Adelaide, it's medium to high speed. There's Sloaney, me mate again. Go round him, Robbie.
Oh, he can't get the inside job done. The number 25 car has got a very passionate fan club of Sloaney. Farring having a bit of trouble getting past him. Now he does.
It's tough. There's only really one line at Adelaide there right now. And lots of big holes. It's a medium fast, like I say, so you don't want to risk going around. You'll get in all the dusty stuff and you lose position.
Dumsney back in the spot there, probably in the top 4 at the moment. Jason Johnson, very tough. Murky having a top 5 as well. Robbie Farr in good touch here, Drew.
Oh, yeah, and if he plays his cards right, just stay on that bottom, he should run away with this. Mate, David Murcott actually going backwards now.
Gary Brazier in the Ryco Engineering. Bill Mano, number 6 for Capella Marekas. He's closing in his best result so far, the Braz.
That's right. Gary's done this a lot. He hasn't been here for a good 5 years, I think, but he's doing a good job. Just want to close in a little more, and Jason Johnson getting around is going to be the tougher thing.
Look at the black part of the racetrack, Drew. What do we call that?
It's the slick. When it's not black and shiny like that, it's like driving a, what do I say, a road car on the grass.
Very slippery. You have to be careful with your throttle. Yellow lights have come on. Robbie Farr will have to slow up. A restart now. Away we go. Brazier looking good. Murcott strong as well. Dumsney trying to get onto the podium as well. And there is the Holofresh 59 of Stephen Lyons. Also back there is Morton. Past the massive JBS screen. What a great crowd in the house here, Drew.
Oh, brilliant. Very loud crowd in Adelaide too. Nice little atmosphere. And just look at the top of that black stuff there on the track is the dust. You don't want to get in that dust. Dan Morton at that restart got a little too high.
Look at Dumsney once more. We're looking back through his rock screen as Murcott tries to chase him down. The tear-off goggles quite evident there, Drew.
Yeah, with this Dusty, you don't have to put too many on, which is much better than driving when it's a heavy track.
Robbie Farr's car, the Cool chassis. Owned, of course, by Thorley Brothers Racing out of Queensland. Farry's had plenty of wins here before. So is this man, the Superlock Armorall number 5. And here comes Jason Johnson.
Here comes Jason. Look at the line. He's swapped to the top of the track. He's seeing something that Robbie can't see. He's going to try the best he can on this top. Look at him on the outside there.
Johnson is spectacular the way he keeps his car speed up. He's right behind Farry now at the half track. He's working it beautifully, Drew.
Robbie wouldn't know where Jason Johnson is right now. He can't see behind him, so Jason just dropping to the bottom. He's just doing some research. Where's the best drive in this track?
Yellow lights have come on. Oh, Dan Morton has spun the Morvale Group number 78 car out of Mackay. This is going to be a thriller now. There's only a few laps left in it at Speedway City. Watch for Dumsney, he's still right there. So is Murcott, and Danny Reedy are good results.
Oh, Reedy always up there in the results somewhere, sniffing around, isn't he, Wade? Oh, look, Murcott under some trouble in the back.
Yeah, look at that, Danny Reedy all over him. You just saw it in the onboard shot just then. Now, Johnson has the sting gone out of his tail a bit here. There is Brazier coming on.
Brazier be watching the battle between Robbie and Jason Johnson in the background. But it looks like Robbie's got a nice little gap.
They've opened up the corners quite a bit now, Drew. You can see him taking a late apex. Brazier is right there. Should either one of these guys make a mistake, Farry's not getting off the low line for love or money, though, is he?
That's right. And you look at the dust. It's actually a little bit of smoke come off those tyres now, so there's absolutely no dust on that slick black line.
Half a lap to go for Robbie Farr. Look at Brazier closing in.
Johnson nearly lost that position to Brazier. He's trying that high line, but it didn't work, and here it is, Wade, Robbie Farr.
Good job, Robbie Farr over Jason Johnson. Third will be Gary Brazier. Fourth will be Dumsney. Murcott and Reedy really charging as well. A fantastic feature race in the end. Farr, Johnson, Brazier, Dumsney, Murcott, Reedy. Well done, Grant Anderson. Well done, Stephen Lyons. That's round 3. Let's go to the podium.
Yeah, we've been thereabouts the first couple of rounds, and we've been thirds and fourth, couple of fourths, and we've been in the top 5. So it's just good to get in front of them guys and get a win up. It's a World Series, a tough race to win any round. So very happy, mate. Very happy with the team. We've got a 2-car team. It's it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort, and it just gives a bit of reward back to the guys and our sponsors and everyone who helps us out.
Yeah, we've had a pretty average start of the season, but third place here, there's no disgrace. Robbie done a hell of a job tonight. Jason Johnson is doing a good job. I thought I had a couple of chances on him, but he closed the door. But I drew that marble 3 after the dash, and I think that sort of made the night in a way. Whoever's leading that first lap, the way the racetrack was tonight, was going to get the win, I think. But we got no lap traffic. We had too many yellow lights, and it just sort of made out an easy race for Robbie. But congratulations to him.
Yeah, we gave it a shot, with the scoreboard I could see there was 10 to go, and I knew he wasn't going to slip up off the bottom because he made that mistake once and I almost got under him, so I tried to work the top, but just come up a little bit short.
So the championship points now sees Robbie Farr the new leader over Johnson, Dumsney, Brazier, Murcott, Tadnell, Donny Schatz and Danny Reedy rounding out the 8. That wraps us up for today's show. Don't forget WorldSeriesSprintcars.com for all your information. Not this weekend, the weekend after. We're off to Nyora Raceway and then the weekend after Tasmania. Looking forward to seeing you then. On next week's program, it's the final instalment of the Western Sydney East Coast Nationals. We'll see you then.